Good day everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Viking Gamer. And in today's adventure we're going back into Star Citizen to check out the Hermes. And okay, did someone lose a motorcycle? Hang on, just got to check this out. Yep, someone's crashed a motorcycle in here. Anyway, I've been living with the Hermes for about 3 weeks or so now. And I've been doing the current event, clearing the air with the Melina mold. I've been doing it solo for reasons. Basically with my dyslexia it's a bit hard to get together in chat and organise with people, so but still doing quite well. So I've got a little bit more of the transport section to do. I've completed the defence section. Collections so far in the Stanton system, that mostly seems to be mining oriented, and I have no interest in the mining game loop. Salvage, yes, mining just doesn't do it for me.
Welcome to the ASOP.
My apologies if you're a mining enthusiast, but not my cup of tea. But you do you. Because only you can. Whatever floats your boat. Okay, let's call up the ship.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the vault. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Viking's large hangar. Because although the Hermes is classified as medium freight, it seems to require a large hangar. But anyway, as I said earlier, the mining loop isn't actually my thing, but you do you. If you love doing the mining and that's all you want to do in Star Citizen, do what you enjoy.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Okay, something's gone wrong here, which will be annoying.
Your vehicle has been delivered to please visit us again. Goodbye.
Okay. Let's run over to the middle here. Coming up out of the depths. Ooh, please excuse the sound of little frogs in the background. I don't know if you can hear them over the microphone. Got the window open because my cat wants to line the window. And she really enjoys YouTube stuff, so. And here she is, my Hermes. And as you can see, the paintwork is well and truly scuffed up. Of course, I tend not to do insurance claims on my ships if I don't have to. Like, unless the ship gets blown up, I don't do an insurance claim. I do my best to get them back to port and land and log out. Bed log if I absolutely have to, but as you can see, cockpit's a bit, the glass is a bit scuffed up, paintwork, predominantly around the front's all messed up. So yeah, I have genuinely been living with it for a while and repairing it where I can, and just generally living with it, so I can give a more honest opinion of my feel of it. And so far it's one of my favourite ships. I'd say it's pretty much one of my daily drivers. And I never really did get too much into the whole cargo gameplay. Ah, the sound of those engines. It's just such a wonderfully visceral sound. So anyway, as you can see, got the cockpit. Basically got a little bit of a mess here because I've been eating and drinking in here. So a little bit on the unhygienic side, I know, all of this empty bottles and stuff lying around. As my sister said, it's not a very hygienic ship, so never mind the Molina mould, we might get the Viking mould. Speaking of which, I decided to wear my Tavaran armour with the birdie helmet, so to have a hint of that Plague Doctor feel. And yes, it is green. I'm beginning to think the official colour scheme of my channel is going to be green and white.
Welcome to Roberts Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Okay, let's check that everything's up and running. The engine's on.
Engines off.
No, that's engine's off.
Engines off.
Oh, that just sounds awesome. Anyway, we'll have a little look at the outside of the ship. And speaking of frogs, I don't know about you guys, but I reckon that actually looks like a little frog. Yeah, just all of the detail of the scratch marks. I remember once flying my Vulture to the point where you could barely see through the windscreen. Yep, this ship's been there, done that. Anywho, let's get a contract. Okay, priority. Medium scale, medical supplies. From New Babbage Spaceport to the Terra Gateway. That sounds cool, because I plan on going to the Terra Gateway late, going back to Levski. I actually had set Levski as my primary spawn point for this patch, and I regret it because I'm spawning in before Levski does, by the looks of things, and as a result... Oh, that is gorgeous. And as a result, I'm just falling straight through the asteroid, and then ending up having to die and wake up in the medical facility, and then having to sort of like run through. So it's... And when the patch initially dropped, there was an incredible amount of lag, so it was so hard. It was so hard to get anywhere. And I'm flying with mouse and keyboard. Of course, both of my joysticks are just playing up at the moment, so... And... Well, basically I've got to take them apart and do some basic maintenance. So I've been getting used to flying with mouse and keyboard, which I will have to say is surprisingly intuitive. That's where we deliver the shipment to. There's where we're picking it up from. Yeah, having some spooling issues. So I think that's something CIG needs to work on. No, that is not an invalid target.
Radar contact.
Okay, that's hostile radar contact. I'm not liking the sounds of that. Yeah, I think we've got the tail end of a free fly on. I'm not sure whether it's already ended or whether it's ending later today. So yeah. Oh, also, just in case you guys are a big fan of this game, I shall pop my details down there in case you want to use my referral code. You don't have to, but yeah, if you want to use someone's referral code, there it is. So basically you get some extra alpha UEC, and yeah, I think we both get some points towards some rewards and stuff like that. And also hit like to the video as well, if you don't mind, so it helps with the algorithm. That pesky algorithm. What are these lights flashing inside the cockpit? Cockpit. Oh, I hadn't noticed these little fins before. Just underneath. But this ship is really growing on me, so good fuel capacity, fun to play with. It's very heavy. When you're flying it, it does feel very heavy. So that's just something to be in mind of when you're playing this ship. It's heavy. Like, it takes a little while to stop. So once you've got the momentum, remember you're gonna need some stopping distance. And you'll notice when taking off vertically, it doesn't just spring off the ground like a lot of the other ships do. It sort of actually just sort of wobbles about a little bit and then sort of pulls up slowly. So it actually feels like it's got some proper weight to it. And unlike a lot of the other civilian ships, it's not that defenseless. Like 4 Rhino repeaters, I think they're Rhinos. Hang on, let's double check. Yep, 4 Rhinos. You don't want to be in front of this. You don't want to be in front of this. It's not that fast manoeuvring, so a skilled pilot or in a light fighter will just run rings round her. But it's tanky enough to take the hits to then jump into hyperspace. Hyperspace? Quantum. Quantum. Anyway, almost at New Babbage. When I start bringing the boxes on, I'll not show the whole process. Just enough to show that that small door out the back isn't as big an issue as a lot of people reckon it is. It's enough to make loading and unloading interesting, but not enough to make it awkward. Like, yeah, it's easier to load and unload the Cutlass Black. It's easier to load and unload my 400i. But no, it's not cripplingly difficult either. It's just a lot of people are just annoyed that you can't fit an Ursa in it. I remember the days when people would complain if you couldn't fit a rock into something. Gondor has no rock, Gondor needs no rock. You can fit a rock into this, but no, the standard's changed. It's the Ursa now. Okay, is it going to be night time when we get there? And you can fly this ship from either the left or the right seat. So I live in Australia. I'm used to the steering being on the right hand side of the car. So yeah.
Auto drive is now off.
Okay, I've forgotten where the altimeter is on this thing.
Shields on.
I can't see my altimeter. Anyway, let's let's bring it round to New Babbage Spaceport. This game is beautiful. Wanted to pop outside and play with the engine sound. Oh no, the large parking spaces are up top. Got another player flying around there, so we've got to be careful not to have a collision. Okay, and start slowing down now. Hit the undercarriage.
And gear deployed.
Whoa, drifting, whoa, slow down. Ooh,
Welcome to New Babbage.
that hit a bit hard. Anyway, good practice as far as I'm concerned in this game is every time you land, check your repair, check your fuel. Not that I'm in any danger of running out of fuel. The tanks on this thing are huge. Okay. Oh. No. Just got to line it up with the cargo bay. Forward. Remember that I'm working in a mirror here. So I'm not set up behind the vessel. Oh! I meant to push the go down button and instead of turned the engines off while I was still in flight. Okay, what damage have I done? And no, that isn't the main reason why I've got a lot of scrapes and scratches.
Engines on.
Now, according to this, I hadn't turned the engines off. That's strange, unless I just tapped it. Anyway, now to do loading up boxes. Yep, plenty of space. There's the tractor beam. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Oh, come on. Is that enough to obstruct the freight elevator? I don't think so. Just remember, if there's anything just stuck ever so slightly onto them, it won't work. I also got some things I might want to take. Oh, there's a thing. I noticed a medal lying on the ground, so I picked it up. So if anyone's missing their government if anyone's missing this medal, let me know. Swirly thing alert. Do 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 do. Yeah, could do with some good old elevator music. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you sit through me bringing all of this on board. But basically, okay, tractor beam ahoy. And tractor beam. It's basically a mini game in itself. Okay. Power on. Use tractor beam. Check that it's okay, it's not working. Okay. And my head's disappeared. Yeah, sorry, I've got no head. Okay. Is it a case of it hasn't got any power? Do we need to turn the engines back on? Because normally that doesn't affect it. Power off. Power on. Use tractor beam. Aha, there we go. Good old turn it off and on again. Okay, and out we go. Got a tiny little set of crosshairs there, but the text on the boxes really tends to mess it up. So I normally aim just below where the box is and then drag it up, and then you've grabbed yourself a box. Bring it in pretty close and then press S to move the tractor beam back, and no matter what I do I end up dropping it. Now I've seen other people just drag it in nice and easy. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they're managing to do it without the hassle. And you're not on the grid. Get back on the grid. Whoop. Ended up giving a flick of my wrist by mistake there. Just do a couple more boxes and then I'll probably fast forward a bit. So, and I'm trying to, yep, just end up dropping it every time. Maybe if I turn Q off. Reducing the sensitivity. And see if that makes a difference. Nope. Anyway. As you can see, it just stacks so nice and easy, and this is just such a fun little mini game, effectively. Notice some people, maybe if I line it up using the RAM. Aha! But now I've got the beam stuck. Okay, I'm sure there's a trick to it, and you guys will probably tell me in the comments, or I'll find it out some way, but hey, it doesn't slow things down too much. Just means I've got to do a box catch. And of course doing that so close to my character operating the tractor beam seems really silly. Hello. Yep. Anyway, I'll probably fast forward to the last few boxes and I'll see you, well, I'll see you in a few minutes for me, a couple of seconds for you. Okay, loading up the last box now. And the cat has moved from the windowsill onto my lap and is doing her laundry. So excuse me if I'm a bit distracted. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, everybody's secured onto the cargo grid properly. It's always a good idea to check. So nothing glitches out of the ship, and there's nothing worse than when you've done a big run like this and there's a box missing. I had that happen recently and I can only think like something must have glitched out. For I was collecting cargo from a damaged ship. Anyway, like I said, got a little cat on my lap now. Or a little cat, so she's not the little cat. This is Internet Cat. Who likes YouTube videos. Yes. Yes, okay, that would be your YouTube name, Internet Cat. Yeah, she seems to like that. She too shall have a secret identity. She just shook her head. Well, I think you should, that way you don't get doxed. Okay, so I need to straighten the ship up. When I said before that using the mouse and keyboard was intuitive, using the mouse is fairly intuitive, but the keyboard is still a bit difficult. For me anyway. The sound of this ship is never going to get old. Just got to listen to those engines again. My sister reckons it sounds like it's hungry. Little hungry frog. Anyway, I'd better get on with this video. I'm not sure how much storage space I've got for recording.
You are all clear to leave.
Unfortunately, we don't have a very good view upwards to see when the doors have opened, so I'll have to go by the sound. Oh, you can just see it opening in the corner there. Okay, let's go to an external view for the takeoff this time. Yes, as you can see, that feels a lot more weighty than some of the other ships.
Thank you for visiting New Baggage, the proud home of microtech.
Yep. Okay, that's the undercarriage up, so just struggling with the VTOL. Afterburners on. Or boost as they call it in Star Citizen. That's the end of my boost. Can we quantum the rest of the way out of atmosphere? Yep. Okay, now to the drop-off point. Okay, and it's not automatically spooling on it again. I'm having that trouble with this ship a fair bit. But I know they're busy ironing out a few bugs with this and a few other ships at the moment. And here we are in Quantum. I'll probably fast forward again to just when we come out of it. Okay, and we have arrived. Better go into the cockpit. Don't fly into any rocks. Oh dear. Now, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't want my weapons offline. This is, these gateways sometimes tend to be a bit of a hotspot for PvP. Or griefers. PvP, if you're also in a combat vessel. If you're not, then that's kind of griefing to me. Whoa, I did not see that coming. Okay, my shields are down. Hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Shields are off. Shields are on.
No power to the coolers. Okay. Okay, that's more normal. Okay, that could have gone very, very bad. It's because I turned everything off and on again while I was at the tractor beam station, isn't it? And it reset the whole system. Supposed to land.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Ah, that's nice and close for a change.
Landing gear deployed.
Yep, can boost sideways. Whoa, 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 whoa. Used to it taking so long to stop. This is one ship I am grateful for that speed reduction when the undercarriage is down.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Okay, do quick check for repairs. Repair. Refuel. Okay. Go to an exterior view. Okay, that's a cargo lift there. Used to consider going to external views like this cheating, but for some things like
Engines normal.
cargo run, it's almost essential until we get some form of external parking camera or reversing camera. That'd be cool. So if anyone from CIG is watching, can we have reversing and parking cameras, please? Would be greatly appreciated. Love you guys to bits. Okay. Okay, now, one thing I noticed some people were having difficulty with, they found that when they press S to move the tractor beam forward on the rails, it was moving faster than the box. Basically, you've just got to remember to roll the mouse wheel forward while you're travelling forward, and you don't have that problem. So hit S and then start rolling the mouse wheel, and no issue. Right, now I like to line the back area slightly with boxes. Oh. Press Q to slow things down a bit. S and start scrolling the mouse wheel a little bit. Yep. Not an issue. I'll have to look and see if I can actually turn all this dialogue off, or information, because it's just like, it's very annoying. As you can see, it's just so easy to unload, but of course carefully stacking things is another issue. And once you get a bit better at it, you can actually just snatch them up on the way by like that, so snatch it up, and out we go. Just do a couple more to give you the basic gist. Whoop, that's not the one I meant to grab. The things that happen when you try to show off to your audience. Slide that into the other box. grab this one. Slide it into the other box. So now we can just like grab boxes and just slide, slide, slide without thinking too much into that section. So basically just get some right angle walls going on with the containers. Little trick I learnt off someone else. I can't remember which YouTuber it was that sort of suggested doing that. Yeah, I can't see a thing that's going on there. Anyway, just do one more, and then I'll probably fast forward again. Let you know how it all went. Okay, I've nearly finished offloading all the boxes now, so not the neatest pattern in the world, but as long as they're all secured to the cargo grid, that's all that really matters. So just getting the flow and the rhythm of it going. As long as they're all on the cargo elevator and properly on the grid, doesn't really matter if they're tidy, as long as we snap to the grid. Yeah, it really should have a little protective cage around your character so that you don't knock their head off of a cargo box. Yeah, once you get used to this, whoa. Once you get used to this, it's actually quite fun. And I never thought that I'd find doing the cargo run that much fun. Still takes a little bit of concentration, but it's like anything else. It's like when you first do it, it's really difficult. Then once you get more accustomed to it, you get the whole muscle memory going on, or reflex rather, whatever, however you want to describe it, and you get your own little system going, it becomes quite easy and enjoyable. Well, easier than when you started. That's not on the grid. Yep, okay. And after I've finished doing this, I'll go and have a very quick check. That everything's in place. 2 boxes left to go. But all in all, should you get this ship, I'd say, yeah, if you're a cargo runner, like, wait and get it in game. As with anything, you don't have to spend any real world money on this game if you don't want to. But you can if you do, and it helps support and fund the project. I've spent perhaps more than I should over the years, but not all in one go. But all you really need for this game is a starter package, and everything else you can earn in-game. At the moment there's an exclusivity on this ship because it's only just come into the game, and I wanted to support the project, and I wanted something with a bit more cargo capacity because that sort of let me down a few times. But if cargo running in this game is seriously your thing, then this is a ship for you. Aha! Yep, there's a box come off the thing. Okay, my tractor beam is glitching in and out. Oh, as you can see, I've got the green tractor beam. One of the rewards for this event. So not the usual yellowy orange. So yeah, just making sure everybody's on the grid as they should be. Careful not to fall down between the boxes and get trapped. Yeah, even if you placed them neatly, it'd still be a good idea to run around and have a check. Okay. And now to send them down to the cargo hold. But yeah, if you're very seriously interested in cargo running, there are better ships than the Hermes. The raft is a lot easier to pack and unpack, but as you can see, that's not too much of an issue. This stores the cargo internally, so it's safer. Ooh, that's a big dent. Owies. So, yeah, but it's faster than some of the other cargo ships. And with all that forward firepower, it's basically more of a blockade runner. The speed, the internal storage capacity, the fact that it's also hard to nick all of the cargo quickly. Like if someone wants to pirate you and steal your cargo, it's going to take them a little while to get all that out. Even with my quick method of doing things, it takes a while to get all of that out that little door. So someone who wants to take you on for your cargo, that's going to make them think, do I really want to bother with this particular vessel? There are easier vessels to get cargo out of. Confirm. So how much of a consideration that would be for a would-be pirate? I don't know. If I was a pirate, I think it'd be a consideration for me. If you are into pirate gameplay, let me know if you think that would make you think of targeting another vessel. But anyway, the speed of this ship and the internal storage that protects the cargo makes me think blockade runner, and I want to get into blockade running. That seems like an interesting gameplay loop. That's the aspect of cargo running that interests me. Blockade running. I'm probably going to get a cargo, a prowler utility in game for that very reason. Anyway, I'll just straighten the ship up and pop her back on the grid properly so she can be stored safely before I end the video. Let's listen to those engines again. That almost makes it worth buying the ship just on its own. I won't lie. Maybe I'm just really easily pleased. I don't know. It's just... Anyway, like I said, you do you. You'll eventually be able to purchase this vessel in-game, earn it in-game. Or if you want to support CIGM the project, then you can use your credit card or whatever. I choose to support the project because I believe in it, but yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much my thoughts on this ship. I reckon it's a fun ship to play with, and if you're into cargo running, then yeah, you'll have some fun with it, and if you're into blockade running, hopefully that will become a thing. Excuse me while I have a can of coffee. Add it to my collection. Yeah, but my sister would be disgusted. My character's still thirsty. Anyway, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment in the comments section if you're so inclined to do so. Just be nice and polite with one another. And until next time, keep running cargo. This is a beautiful ship.